Welcome to HS Game Time Live, Week 9 of the high school football season. Wow, what a night. We've had some crazy finishes, some upsets, some double overtime games. We got the highlights and the scores coming your way, and a lot of teams still jockeying for playoff positions and league titles. And we know right now, and Angel, you want to go ahead and take a look at that camera too as we look at the newsroom right now. EPJ and the rest of the crew breaking it down. We're still getting the scores and a lot of the stats still coming into the office, and there's none better than EPJ when it comes to breaking down the numbers and who's going to make the playoffs. Right now, according to EPJ, Redlands, Tockwitz, Chaparral, Elsinore, and Summit already punched their tickets into the playoffs going into Week 9. So a lot of teams playing tonight, hoping to add their name as well to the CIF postseason. We'll get to the highlights in just a moment, where we got to start with some scores from the Southwestern League. Let's go ahead and punch up those scoreboards and tell you about the big one. Chaparral and Murrieta Valley, they were in a battle. Now, Chaparral was eyeing Vista Murrieta for the final week of the regular season with the Southwestern League crown on the line, but they could not overlook the Murrieta Valley Nighthawks. So let's go ahead and take a look at those scores and look what the Nighthawks did tonight. 41-31, Murrieta Valley knocks off the Pumas. 41-31 your final score. So Chaparral heads into that game with Vista Murrieta with a 3-1 record in league play. Big win by Murrieta Valley. On to Vista Murrieta. They remain unbeaten, blowing past Murrieta Mesa 52-0. And also from the Southwestern League, it was, let's go to that one, Great Oak and Temecula Valley. Great Oak winning 47-21. All right, so those are the scores from the Southwestern League. Now moving on to the Sunbelt League. We got the big one with Elsinore and Heritage coming up in the final week of the regular season. But let's take a look at the scores from tonight. The Week 9 scores from the Sunbelt League. Go ahead and roll those. And we'll start with, let's see, what score are we going to start with? Punch up those scores from the Sunbelt League. And there we go. The shocker tonight, the big one, Temescal Canyon and Paloma Valley. Temescal Canyon wins 21-14. So Paloma Valley lost in the Menifee Bowl last week, and tonight they lose again, 21-14 to Temescal Canyon. Big win for the Titans. Also tonight, Heritage a winner against Lakeside, 48-21. Morgie on Twitter giving us the final score, 48-21. He says Jamal Moore with 4 TDs for the Patriots. And also from the Sunbelt League, one more score, Elsinore all over Paris, 55-21. So Elsinore 4-0. Heading into that battle with Heritage next week. All right, back here live in the studio, the highlights and the action rolls on to the Inland Valley League. Arlington, undefeated in league play, taking on the Rancho Verde. Now, Arlington, Rancho Verde, and also North, all in the mix for a league title and also playoff spots. But Arlington looking to keep their undefeated record in IVL action. So let's go to the highlights. Rancho Verde and Arlington, and there's the Lions. And they would start off great in the first half. There's Damone Backus, the big-time linebacker for the Rancho Verde, wearing number 15 like a stud. And Rancho Verde with the ball, they're going to say this is a complete pass. And there's Martez Duarte is going to strip it loose. And we'll have a little issue with the video right now, stopping and going, a little glitch in it. But let's see if we can, still going to glitch a bit. So, you know what? Let's just tell you that Rancho, let's come back here live in the studio, Angel, and we'll tell you, everyone, that this one went to double overtime. Arlington actually held the lead 14-0 at halftime. Second half, Rancho Verde came back, tied the game, forced overtime, and Rancho Verde won in double overtime, 27-20. We'll try to work out those highlights and get them to you later in the show. If not tonight during the live show, definitely in the Saturday Scouting Report. But let's go ahead to the Inland Valley League scoreboards and punch up those scores. And Rancho Verde and Arlington obviously leading that list because that was the big game in the IVL tonight. Let's go ahead and punch up those scores from the IVL. And we start with North. North is a winner, 38-0. So the Huskies keep their name in the mix for a league championship, blanking their rival, the Poly Bears. Also from the Inland Valley League, still waiting for Canyon Springs and Vista Del Lago. So if you got it, hit us up on Facebook or Twitter, and we'll pass that along. And let's see, we're going to get to that score in just a moment. But let's come back here live in the studio. And we're moving on to the Mountain Valley League. You saw the score right there. Banning taking on Citrus Valley of Redlands. Now, Banning's been on a roll. 7-1 this season, undefeated in league play. And they've got the big one with Rim of the World coming up, but they need to get past Citrus Valley. Citrus Valley actually beat Rim of the World last week, so the Blackhawks playing some pretty good football right now. All right, let's roll that video. Banning and Citrus Valley tonight in Banning. Javier Cabrera, our man on the scene, shooting the video. And, you know, the Sty Hairston experience would obviously have a big game for the Broncos. He's the quarterback. He takes off, and he will go 85 yards on the touchdown run. And Banning goes up 7-zip, and at Banning, when you score, you got to do push-ups. Go ahead and give me 7 of those, ladies. 7 push-ups on the Sty Hairston touchdown. But Citrus Valley would answer. Quarterback Dalton Douglas fakes out Javi, goes in for the touchdown, ties the game at 7 apiece. Then later in the first quarter, Sty Hairston broke one for 85, breaks that tackle there in the backfield, gets loose, and he goes 80 yards on this touchdown run. And the Sty Hairston experience puts Banning up 14-7. And there's Sty walking by Hav right there. What up, Sty? And then later, Citrus Valley with the ball, looking to get the equalizing score. But there's Miguel Espero coming up with the interception, knocks the ball loose, but the Broncos would recover. And then Citrus Valley with the ball again. Rene Sanchez coming up with another interception for Banning. And that would lead to this. How about a Banning field goal? And they took the lead 17-7. How about some Banning defense, too? Hutch Yang leading that tackle for the loss there for the Broncos. But Citrus Valley would get a field goal before halftime, making it 17-10 at the break. It was homecoming at Banning. Who would be royalty for the Broncos this year? Well, it goes to Laura and Jonathan. Congratulations, royalty at Banning High School. Now we pick it up in the third quarter. Citrus Valley would tie the game with this touchdown. Taylor Smith goes in for the score. We're all tied at 17, but in the fourth quarter, Miguel Espero in for the score, and that's it. Banning wins by a final score of 24-17, and we caught up with Sty Hairston and is talking about his long touchdowns.
But I just had to go 100%, and if I go 100%, everybody block and do what they're supposed to do, then we're gonna make it.
Now, Javier Cabrera was at the game. You might know him simply as Ja Rule in your parts of the woods. Javier, so you saw the Sty Hairston experience. He had a huge first quarter, the 85 and the 80-yard run. What did you think?
Wow, I mean, the guy is really a gifted athlete. He was obviously on both offense and defense. He reminded me of the Beaumont quarterback. You know, they both play, you know, QB and then play defense. So it was pretty exciting. You know, those first 2 touchdowns that he had in that first quarter was obviously unbelievable. He had 80-plus yards on both touchdowns, and he scored them on both drives. So it was pretty exciting to see him in person.
And we got to give a shout-out, too, to, let me get the names right, Ashlyn Nicola, Jasmine Jordan, Courtney Kingsley, and China Rogers. I guess there are some big HS Game Time fans out there in Banning.
Yeah, they were hoping to get on the show tonight, and you just mentioned them on the show. So you promised you guys are going to tweet this to all your friends and everyone around. So, yeah.
But Ja Rule here, you didn't get video of him. Come on, man. Next time you got Banning.
Hey, I wasn't sure. Like, I didn't know I could just...
You said they were, like, keeping stats. Someone were keeping stats on the sidelines. They could wave to the camera or do something like that, right?
I'm sorry, girls. I'm sorry. Next time.
All right, so Banning gets Rim of the World. They've got a shot at the league title. You know, Banning's much more than just Sty Hairston. What did you think of the overall team out there tonight?
Yeah, the overall team. I mean, even though it's compared to other teams that I've shot in the previous weeks already, they're really small. Like they have a small team, but like you know, Sty. Along with Sty, the other guy is obviously grouped together, and you know they play as a team. That's why I see them, and the coaches obviously are always on them, and it seems like the guys are always, you know, pumping each other up and encouraging each other to continue.
Now, what's funny is that Sty Hairston guy, he wasn't even supposed to be their starting quarterback this season. Their starting quarterback left town, and they're like, hey, Sty, why don't you take some snaps at under center and see what happens? And, well, the rest is history. But if you can run the ball and play good defense, you're going to win. We saw a couple interceptions, too, right, by Banning tonight.
Yeah, Banning, obviously, on their defense, were able to, you know, stop the ball. I mean, both teams didn't really pass the ball. They were just running the ball. But, you know, Banning definitely got the stops when it needed, especially in that fourth quarter.
Ladies and gentlemen, we're talking to Ja Rule. Let's come back here live in the studio, Angel. Ja, you're the best. You're the man. He's going to come back and hopefully get us some Norco Corona highlights, right? Norco against Corona later in the show. Ja, thank you very much. Let's check out the other scores, Angel, from the Mountain Valley League tonight. There's Ja Rule's game. Javier Cabrera, 24-17, banning a winner, undefeated in league play, 8-1 overall on the season. Also tonight from the Mountain Valleys, go through the other scores. Rim of the World, also a winner, so that's a big one next week now. They beat Rubidoux 55-6, and one more from the Mountain Valley League. Harupa Hills beating Notre Dame 47-6, so the Titans remain winless in league play at this point. All right, back here live in the studio. We've got look at this, a lot more highlights and scores to get to, but first, we got to tell you, we cover all of Riverside and San Bernardino County, but we're going to put an extra big emphasis on the southwestern side of the Riverside County, like if you live in Murrieta, Temecula Valley, Menifee, Elsinore. The Press Enterprise is making a very huge effort to give you guys even more coverage, which includes high school sports, high school football, and we got a little promo to tell you what it's all about. Of course, we're not going to turn our back on all our favorites here, Riverside, Corona, Hemet, Norco, Redlands, Beaumont, Banning. We're going to give you guys all the same coverage that you've grown to love, but we're also going to put an even bigger emphasis in the southwest side of Riverside County, as we said. And check out this promo.
We're launching the Press Southwest. Our newspaper edition distributed in Southwest Riverside County will include more local content and a distinct new look, starting with its new front page and its new name. More local news, more local sports, and more local savings. With the latest news deadlines in Southwest Riverside County, we bring up-to-the-date City Council and School Board meeting recaps and the latest prep sports scores. A new and improved look with a front page will highlight local news and the sports section will highlight local sports. John Hunneman, the preeminent voice and columnist of Southwest Riverside County, joins the Press Southwest staff to add more authentic and local perspective. The most extensive coverage of local news and local high school sports in Riverside County. More values from local businesses to make your shopping more convenient. The Press Enterprise Southwest. Start your day in the right direction.
Really exciting stuff here at the Press Enterprise. So people in the southern side of the Riverside County line, make sure you're looking out Temecula, as we said, Menifee, Murrieta, Elsinore, all those parts. So we're going to be hitting you guys hard with a lot of good coverage, including high school sports and football. So, all right. So moving on, we're on Facebook, we're on Twitter. We've got Alden hooking us up with a Cajon Miller score. We'll get to all the CBL scores in just a moment because that's where we're going next here on the live show. But Alden says Cajon 24, Miller nada. So a big win by the Cowboys tonight. All right, also in the CBL, now Redlands East Valley coming off that tough loss to Redlands in the Smudge Pot game. How would they bounce back against an Eisenhower team who's on the rise and enjoying a great season? The Eagles guaranteed their first winning season, I believe, since 2002. So great job by Vinny Fazio and the folks at Eisenhower at Ike. All right, Angel, let's roll those highlights. Redlands East Valley taking on Ike. And here come the Wildcats, and that, I believe, is Bernie from the Inland Empire Minor League Baseball team. It's a big game when Bernie comes out to show off his moves. Rev quarterback Levi Plant rolls out, nothing doing, tucks the ball in, and he is off. Levi Plant with a nice gain here to move the ball for the Wildcats. Same drive for Redlands East Valley is Plant to Anthony Perez. He hauls it in and gets him inside the 30-yard line, and they would cap off this drive with this. Plant to Malik. Love it, touchdown. You gotta love it. Another touchdown by the Wildcats. And then how about some Rev defense? That's Trey Oliphant. The pick six, back to the house. A house call for Oliphant, and Rev looking strong in this one. Now, Eisenhower's got a good one with Trevin Island. Yeah, Trevin Island. And he's going to scoot loose on this one, picks up some big yards for Eisenhower. But that Redlands East Valley defense. And how about special teams, too? Mark Nielsen coming up with the block, and Perez will get the touchdown here as Redlands East Valley goes on to win by a final score of 28-7. There's Kurt Bruick and the boys. All right, let's go to the rest of the scores from the Citrus Belt League tonight. And a shocker between Redlands and Yucaipa. Now, let's check out the scores because Redlands did not have Craig Lee. There's the one we just saw. Redlands East Valley, a winner 28-7. Now moving on to the other scores in the CBL. Next one is Redlands and Yucaipa, as we just mentioned. The Terriers playing without Craig Lee, their star running back, who's headed to UCLA. And Yucaipa knocks off the Terriers 28-24. So that really shook up the CBL standings in that one. Redlands will finish the season with Eisenhower on a Thursday night next week. And finally, Cajon and Miller, as we told you, Alden went on our Facebook page and gave us the scores. The Cowboys win 24-0, so Miller remains winless in CBL action. All right, back here live in the studio. Our HS Game Time poll question this week was which team who we considered a bubble team, a team that's on the fringe of making the playoffs, which of these teams would actually get in? Here were your choices, and let me punch up the numbers I had right now. And leading the way, the school that people thought would get in for sure, Marietta Mesa with a quarter of the votes, 25%. They had the most votes, followed by Rubidoux at 17 and Temescal Canyon with 16. So some of these schools on this list fighting for their playoff lives, and most people think Marietta Mesa is the team to get in. All right, back here live in the studio. We want to remind you, and you probably already know this, 96.7 KCal Rocks is your home for the San Diego Chargers this season. Every Wednesday and Monday now, I go in the studio. We talk National Football League, even baseball playoffs right now. We talk a little Giants and Tigers World Series. But most importantly, we talk high school football, the big games that week, the big storylines that we're following here at the Press Enterprise and the HS Game Time team. So here's a little sample from this past Wednesday morning.
KCal Rocks, Stu, Tiffany, and Jimbo just into your 8 o'clock hour. We welcome for the Press Enterprise, Pep Fernandez.
Pep Fernandez, everybody!
I'm among superstars in here. I can't believe it. Are you guys the same people I saw on the billboards all around?
Oh, that's funny you should ask.
Yeah.
Can you still believe the biggest Giants fan is wearing a Dodger hat?
World Series Game 1 tonight, by the way.
What is
a
going
Dodgers
on?
fan
Yes,
in
I am.
general, but he is.
I am rooting for the Giants.
Rooting for the Giants because of
I
his
always
league.
root for the National League.
Allegiance.
What is going on with this world? I heard all the callers saying, "Oh yeah, I'm a huge Dodgers fan, but I'm pulling for the Giants."
It's National League!
It's not even jumping the bandwagon. You're taking like an axe and just shattering the bandwagon,
Yes!
and destroying it.
And he's like saying, I'm not sure it's a friendly rivalry. It's not anything but
You can't
friendly.
do that.
NorCal, SoCal. I mean, there's almost a Civil War.
All the Dodger fans I know have wanted the Giants to lose throughout the playoffs.
Yes.
If the Giants got to lose, they got to be eliminated, and they keep winning. So I'm sure they're all pulling for the Tigers.
Games of the week. What are we looking for?
There's two big high school games this week. The one in the Southwest is Chaparral, which I like to say Chaparral, like a game show host.
Yeah.
Do it again. So it's Chaparral taking on Marietta Valley. That's the big game in the Southwest, and closer to home in the Riverside area, the Rancho Verde is taking on Arlington, first place in the Inland Valley League, on the line.
What makes that one cool?
Well, Arlington had a down season last year, but they're undefeated in league play right now. Rancho Verde, a defending CIF champion, but they're 3-1 in league. They're going to meet on Friday. The winner will grab first place. And the regular season's wrapping up. This is week 9, so they play this week, then they play next Friday, and that's it. We go to playoffs.
Yep, and if you haven't seen Pep Fernandez's videos, they're great. They're on PE.com. He covers all the high school regional action.
Yeah, I mean, they're not as good as your guys' billboards, but if you want to go to PE.com, click on HS Game Time. We got all the shows, the Monday morning pep rally, the Friday night live show at 10:30. So there's lots of good stuff. Please check it out.
We will link that up on our Facebook so you can follow him. Pep Fernandez, you totally rock,
you rock, bro.
All right, welcome back to HS Game Time Live. 96.7 KCal Rocks, your home for the San Diego Chargers this season. All right, the scores roll on. How about some Big 8 League scores? We haven't talked about the Big 8 League yet with Centennial and Santiago, or should I say Santiago, hooking up in Week 10 of the regular season with the league title on the line because both teams won tonight. All right, check out those scores from the Big 8 tonight. Norco all over Corona, 59-14. The Cougars a big winner there. Also in the Big 8, we've got Roosevelt and Centennial. The Huskies win 58-14, so they keep their end of the deal, winning, setting up that showdown with Santiago. And let's get to that Santiago score. They were taking on King tonight, and the Sharks, they take care of their side of the deal as well. 38-7, a winner over King. So the Sharks and Huskies will battle in Week 10, final week of the regular season, for the Big 8 League crown. That'll be next Friday. That'll be huge, and we'll have highlights here on HS Game Time Live. Now, Chris Erkley is feverishly working in our newsroom to get these highlights from the Mountain Pass League coming up here on the live show, so we'll definitely get to those in just a little bit. But let's go to the Mountain Pass League scoreboard and show you the scores from the league tonight. Go ahead and punch up the first one as Chris finishes off his highlights. From the Mountain Pass League tonight, we've got some good ones. Citrus Hill taking on Tockwitz was the premier game because both teams were undefeated in the league, although Citrus Hill, you could make an argument as the heavy favorite in that one as they were taking on the Tockwitz Titans. And all Citrus Hill in this one, although Tockwitz was the home team, 47-21. Tockwitz, their quarterback, Ben Moreno, nursing an injury. They did not have him tonight, and Citrus Hill looking very strong as they gear up for a playoff run. 47-21, so the Hawks still undefeated, 9-0 on the season, 4-0 in the Mountain Pass. Also from the Mountain Pass tonight, San Jacinto a winner at West Valley, 49-27. Both teams 5-4 overall, 1-3 in league. And one other score from the Mountain Pass League, Beaumont beating Hemet, 26-14. So Beaumont is 7-2, 3-1 in the Mountain Pass League. All right, back here live in the studio. We had one Thursday night game. It was La Sierra taking on Ramona, and the Rams desperately searching for their first win of the season under head coach Damon Dustin. They were close. They were tied at halftime, but La Sierra would pull away in the second half. Let's check out those highlights. The Rams searching for their first win of the season. Pick it up in the second quarter. Eagles driving. Quarterback Derek Cruz calls his own number. Cruz in cruise control and picks up the first down. Later on that drive, it's Cruz again. Get in there. La Sierra takes a 14-0 lead. Later in the second, La Sierra with the ball once again, but Ramona's Cody Ludwig comes up with the interception and gives the Rams great field position. Ramona would capitalize. Malcolm Ballard on the carry. The ball squirts loose, but it's a touchdown. Rams on the board, trailing 14-7. On the ensuing drive for the Eagles, the Ramona defense comes up big again. Jalen Leonard forces the fumble, and the Rams are there to recover. Tempers flaring at the end of this play. A little pushing, but nothing serious. So Ramona takes over, and the Rams make them pay. Quarterback Damon Mays to Mo Smotherman. We're all tied up at 14, heading into halftime. Third quarter, La Sierra wasted little time to march down the field and punch in a touchdown. Jonathan McCoy in for the score. Eagles up 22-14 after the two-point conversion. The Eagles defense would bottle up Ramona in the second half. Aquari Eddington, the tackle for the loss. Fourth quarter now, the Rams offense providing this play of the week. Mays to Smotherman. The pass is tipped, but Smotherman stays with it, and the ball falls in his lap for the catch. Great play by Smotherman to come down with it. Later in the fourth, the real McCoy going 53 yards on this scoring run, his third touchdown of the game as La Sierra denies Ramona its first win of the season, 28-14, your final score. And check out the Monday morning pep rally show for more on Ramona's Ralph Zamora, who's playing football for the Rams despite missing part of his left arm. So Ramona will try to finish off the season with a victory against Jurupa Valley in Week 10 of the regular season. All right, let's check out the other scores from the River Valley League. Angel, let's punch up. There's two other games tonight in Week 9. Norte Vista, they look like they're going to capture that league crown. 35-7, the Braves defeat Jurupa Valley, your final score. And one other from the River Valley League tonight, and that would be Moreno Valley and Patriot. The Vikings win 41-13. They're 7-2 overall in the season, 3-1 in the River Valley League. All right, let's take a quick look at the HS Game Time rankings from this week. Maybe a little shakeup as we head into the final week of the regular season. Angels punch up those, and here's how it looks. The top will probably stay as is, but Chaparral, as you might expect, and maybe and Redlands as well, might drop, and Murrieta Valley might move up because Murrieta Valley did beat Chaparral tonight, and Redlands losing to Yucaipa despite, they did not have Craig Lee, the UCLA commit, at running back for the Terriers tonight. So that may factor in. Santiago may move up. Heritage and Summit, they're ready to pounce as well as they try to climb the HS Game Time rankings. But the top three seem to be pretty entrenched into this part of the season with Vista Murrieta, Centennial, and Citrus Hill atop our rankings. All right, Chris Erkley is standing by with some awesome highlights from the Mountain Pass League. Plus, we'll run down all your scores from Week 9 of the high school football season. We'll be right back on your favorite show, HS Game Time Live. Erkley, all the way back from Hemet.
You know,
Mr. Hemet now, right?
Anytime, yeah. Louis Amestoy, former PE legend over here, used to be Mr. Hemet, but I may be the Hemet leader now in trips to Hemet.
If I was going to say, you're Mr. Marietta, of course, as well as Mr. Hemet. That's
is
your
that
area.
Possible to be co? Can you have co-titles like that?
Well, you do.
Yeah.
Somehow you do.
It's really a treat. It's really a treat. Also a treat tonight was the performance that Citrus Hill had. They went up against Tahquitz, two teams that, well, Citrus Hill was undefeated. Tahquitz one loss, and of course it was our game of the week. We're expecting a battle royale, but it seems whenever we have these game of the weeks, it's like the Madden curse. No injuries, but it ends up being not exactly the most exciting game.
Yes, and some of these other games that we thought wouldn't be close were tonight. It's kind of a wacky week.
Wacky week. I'd say wacky Wednesday, but it's not Wednesday. It's Friday. So let's roll to the highlights. Citrus Hill coming out firing. I went out to that West Valley San Jacinto game first, and well, let's just say when I arrived to the Tahquitz Citrus Hill game, it was a bit out of hand. That is actually the San Jacinto game. Coach Bill Powell. We can do these ones first. Coach Bill Powell, talking about where he's going to watch the Giants in Game 3. Big Giants fan. How about this? They decided first, let's get a fumble off West Valley. They'd get it done. Chris Anderson coughs up the ball. Recovered by San Jacinto. They know what to do with it. PJ Marietta connecting with Tanner Bootsma, putting on the spin move for the touchdown and a 7-0 lead. Marietta looking for yet another connection. This time, not exactly what he had in mind. It's the old-fashioned pick six. Lorenzo Terry working on the 40 time. He's off with the 90-yard dash. Look at that. He's doing a little zigzag. Was he hot dogging there? I'm not sure why he made the switch there, but hey, working on his cardio, I guess. Then San Jacinto back in charge early in the second quarter. PJ Marietta loses the camera and the defense, connecting with Malik Kimbra for the 50-yard touchdown. They would be up 14-7 there, go on to win 49-27 would be the final tonight for San Jacinto. I was really thinking things over on this pick and ended up rolling with San Jacinto, and what do you know?
You were right there. I heard you talking about it. You wanted to go with West Valley because they could score points.
They could score points. They have talent, but they just Coach Bill Powell, he runs a tight ship over there, being an SF Giants fan.
I think that was the real point.
Ironically enough, his team is called the Tigers. Did you think about that, Pep? And he's a Giant fan.
I didn't. I can't wrap my brain around that one.
Know, that's
a Giants fan who coaches the Tigers with the same colors as the Giants as well.
I know. They have the minor league San Jacinto single A team.
The San Jose Giants for their... All right, so that was San Jacinto, but you were all over him tonight.
Moving on, though, I took about the 10-minute stroll, not via covered wagon, but rather Honda Accord, rather, over to Tahquitz, Citrus Hill, trying to catch the second half of that one, hoping it would be interesting. I got there in middle of the second quarter. Let's roll to the highlights. There's the P-Dog up in the VIP suite.
That's Murph, the prep dog?
It's a big game. He's got his Niner hat on, his vintage Niner hat or something. Here's a vintage Citrus Hill play. How about a pick six? They were contagious out there in Emmett. Jason Smith all the way, excuse me, not pick six, down to the 1 yard line. His old pal, PJ Walker, moonwalking right into the end zone from 1 yard out. 35-7, Citrus Hill to score at the time. Very few mistakes for Citrus Hill tonight. Here, though, Trevor Hodge gets caught napping on the snap. Turns out to be a 20-yard loss for Citrus Hill. Finally, something going right for Tockwitz Talton. Tavares fumbles on the run right here, but hey, Mytorius, Pep's boy, Mytorius boy,
right.
picks the ball up in the end zone now. 35-14 the score. Trevor Hodge back to business. The guy doesn't see much going on, so hey, off to the races. But the ball fumbled by Citrus Hill. Hey, apparently a little butter on the ball in the second half, though. They hang on to it, make a 27-yard field goal out of it for James Camacho. 38-14. Citrus Hill putting the game to bed here. A safety, Moreno out at quarterback for Tockwitz tonight. They would struggle with the passing game there. Safety for Citrus Hill. They go on to a 47-21 win. I guess there isn't quite as much debate as we thought as who's the top dog out there. Citrus Hill definitely looking like the top dog out there in the Mountain Pass.
Well, number 3 in our rankings, and they've been holding steady at the top 3 all season long. And we figure, I mean, Tockwitz is enjoying a great season as well. I mean, they just ran into a really good team with Citrus Hill.
Tockwitz is good. They have that powerful running game, but definitely when they were going to the passing game tonight, they missed Moreno. Moreno was on the sideline wearing his varsity jacket. They wanted him wearing his uniform, not his varsity jacket tonight, and they paid. Citrus Hill, well-coached team. When you got DMX as your coach, you know you guys are going to ride or die, and tonight they rode to a impressive victory over Tockwitz, that's for sure.
All right, thanks, Chris. You'll be back a little bit later in the show as we break down the Mountain Pass League one more time. All right, let's go to those scores from the Southwestern League, Angel, if you can punch those up. Maybe the shocker of the night. As we said, there's several shockers this evening in Week 9 of the high school football season, but Marietta Valley knocking off Chaparral 41-31, your final score. Both schools now 3-1 in Southwestern League play. Big win for the Nighthawks. Also in the Southwestern League, Vista Marietta continues to roll 52-0. They beat Marietta Mesa. And Great Oak, they were taking on Temecula Valley tonight. One more score. Great Oak is a winner against Temecula Valley, 47-21. All right, those are the scores from the Southwestern League. Now let's move on to the Sunbelt League. Temescal Canyon knocking off Paloma Valley, 21-14. So the Titans beat PV as the Wildcats drop to 1-3 in Sunbelt play. Also from the Sunbelt League, Heritage wins 48-21 on the road at Lakeside. And Jamal Morrow with 4 touchdowns, we're told on Twitter, in that victory. And Elsinore, 55-21 over Paris. So Elsinore and Heritage will meet next week. League supremacy on the line. That will be a huge game. All right, back here live in the studio. We told you about the crazy game between Rancho Verde and Arlington. And Arlington led at halftime, but Rancho Verde came back. They forced overtime all the way to double overtime. We do have some early highlights in this game. We're going to try one more time. No, we're not going to try. All right, so let's just go to the scoreboards in Inland Valley League. We're going to work that out. I promise you we'll get the Verde Arlington highlights on for the Saturday scouting report. But right now those highlights aren't cooperating, although they're ready to go. But let's go ahead and go to the Inland Valley League scores from tonight, guys, and we'll tell you about Rancho Verde and Arlington. There it is, and it was in double overtime, 27-20. Your final score, as the Rancho Verde is a winner in this one. Also from the IVL tonight, North over Pauley, 38-0. So the Huskies also in the mix for the league championship in this one in the IVL. And one more score from the Inland Valley League tonight. There it is. We got it in there. Vista Del Lago over Canyon Springs, 31-28. The Ravens getting the win in IVL action tonight. All right, back here live in the studio. We're moving on to the Mountain Valley League. Our guy Javier Cabrera going on the road to Banning, where the Broncos hosted Citrus Valley of Redlands. Banning has been on a roll this season, and a huge part of that has been the Sty Hairston experience. Let's roll the highlights from Banning. As we said, hosting the Blackhawks, who beat Rim of the World last week. So Citrus Valley on an upset alert here, trying to knock off another team. But there he goes, the Sty Hairston experience, breaking off an 85-yard touchdown run to the paint. And when you score a touchdown in Banning, The cheerleaders have to do push-ups. Drop and give me 7, ladies. There they go. And they were doing a couple push-ups tonight because Hsgt would get in the end zone a couple times. But here's Dalton Douglas. He gets in for Citrus Valley and ties the game at 7 in the first quarter. But here comes that Hsgt guy again. It looks like they got him bottled up, corralled in the backfield. But he breaks loose. 80 yards on this touchdown run in the first quarter. And Banning goes up 14-7 at that point. And there's Hsgt. We got a good look at him there on the sidelines. How about some Banning defense? Dalton Douglas looking to pass, but there's Miguel Espuro coming up with the interception. The ball comes loose, but Banning would recover the INT. And then Citrus Valley with the ball again. How about some more Bronco defense? Flying around the secondary, that's Rene Sanchez, the interception. Banning coming up here with a field goal to extend their lead to 17-7. And then more Bronco defense. How about Hutch Yang, the tackle for the loss? Citrus Valley would get a field goal before halftime, boots it through the uprights. That would make it a 17-10 game at the half. It was homecoming out there at Banning. Who would be royalty for the Broncos? Well, there they are, Laura and Jonathan. Congratulations, homecoming royalty for Banning High School. Third quarter, Citrus Valley looking to spoil homecoming. Taylor Smith in for the touchdown, ties the game at 17. But in the fourth quarter, Miguel Espuro in for the touchdown as Banning wins 24-17. We caught up with the Hsgt experience, and he talked about his long touchdown runs.
But I just had to go 100%, and if I go 100%, everybody block and do what they're supposed to do, and we're gonna make it.
All right, back here live in the studio. Let's go to all the scores from the Mountain Valley League as you saw Banning the big winner against Citrus Valley. So let's punch up the rest of the scores from the Mountain Valley League. And there's the game we just saw, 24-17, Banning now 4-0 in Mountain Valley League, and the Broncos 8-1 on the season. So they are enjoying a great year out there. Rim of the World, 55-6. They win against Rubidoux. So the Fighting Scots, 3-1 in league play, and they will be tested when they take on the Hsgt experience in Banning next week. So Hsgt against Jacob Taylor. That's going to be a fun game, maybe a high-scoring one as well. And finally, from the Mountain Valley League, Jurupa Hills defeats Notre Dame 47-6, the final score. So the Titans remain winless in league play as Jurupa Hills gets the win. Jurupa Hills 6-3 overall on the season. So, all right, back here live in the studio, we're moving on now to the Citrus Belt League. What would Redlands East Valley do to bounce back from a loss in the Smudge Pot game against rival Redlands? It was 41-37 last week. Kurt Brooks' crew with a hard luck loss against the Terriers in the big rivalry game, but tonight they could not rest because Eisenhower came to Redlands, and Eisenhower, the Eagles, guaranteed their first winning season in about a decade, so they're enjoying a great year, and the Wildcats could not sleep on Ike. All right, let's go to the highlights. Angels take you out to Redlands, playing at Citrus Valley High School. Here come the Wildcats, and I believe that's Bernie, the Inland Empire 66ers mascot, breaking it down out there. Good to see him. All right, now we move to the highlights. And our Redlands East Valley with the ball, and they were marching down the field. Quarterback Levi Plant takes off on the run, tucks it in, and he picks up a big gain all the way down to about the 45 of Eisenhower. Same drive. Plant drops back, and he hooks up here with Anthony Perez for the big gain. Same drive. It's Plant to Malik Lovett. You got to love it. He's in for the touchdown there, and it was a 7-zip Rev on top. And then how about some Wildcat defense? They always play stingy defense. Trey Oliphant, the pick six house call, 14 nada. Now Eisenhower, they've got a good one there with Trevin Island, and you can see why here. Nice run by Trevin Island to get the ball moving for Eisenhower. But Rev awesome on defense and special teams. How about Mark Nielsen coming up with a block, and Perez scoops it up for the easy touchdown as Redlands East Valley goes on to win by a final score of 28-7. So back here live in the studio, Redlands East Valley a winner, and they beat Eisenhower. All right, back here live in the studio, let's go. We're going to go to the other scores from the Citrus Belt League tonight. As we told you, Redlands East Valley was a winner. So what would Redlands do after winning the Smudge Pot? There's the score, Rev 28-7 over Eisenhower. Let's go to the next score, Redlands and Yucaipa. The Terriers, what would they do as an encore to the Smudge Pot game? Well, Yucaipa, they ambushed them. 28-24. Yucaipa is a winner as the Terriers lose 28-24. So Redlands 3-1 in league play. And now league play is a big mess because Redlands will finish the year next Thursday against Eisenhower, who also has one loss. Redlands East Valley has one loss. And we'll have to talk to the prep dog, but I'm pretty sure that Craig Lee, the Redlands big-time running back going to UCLA, did not play, still nursing a shoulder injury he suffered at the end of the Smudge Pond game. So Redlands a loser against Yucaipa tonight, 28-24. And one more score from the Citrus Belt League, Cajon playing tonight against Miller, and the Cowboys win 24-0. All right. Back here live in the studio to the land of the Big Eight. I got some Norco Corona action right here. Norco taking on their longtime rival. And let's go ahead and just roll the video, Angel, as Norco took on Corona. Early in this one, let's go ahead and roll it. Matthew Williams getting the call here. He'll go in for 18-yard score, and that put Norco up 14-0. And then it's Corey Young. He gets the call. He's going to go 12 yards on this score, make it 21-0. And you could, if you catch my drift, you can see what was happening in this one. Nick Gibson did score a Corona touchdown here to make it 22-6, but Norco all over Corona tonight. And we've got Mr. Pope, Dennis Pope, in the house tonight to break it all down. So, Dennis, Norco, we knew they were good. They can run the ball with the best of them. What were your impressions of the Cougars tonight?
They just overwhelmed Corona for the most part. Corona, they don't have any depth hardly at all. And Norco took advantage. Norco has 100-plus players on their team. They had more than 5 guys. They had 5 guys score. Both Colton Gerhardt and Joseph Hsgt had 100 yards at halftime. Corey Young, he scored on 3 of his only 4 touches of the whole game. So for Corona, it's pretty bad.
That's not a bad percentage there. Every time you touch the ball to go in for the score. Was it packed? I mean, as I understand, this is an old rivalry between two schools.
Right. This is the 40th anniversary or 40th rendition of the rivalry. There was a lot of support there for Corona. Norco had a good crowd, but Norco always travels well.
Yeah, they do. Yeah. Okay, so I mean, like you said, they spread the ball around. They're great on the ground at Norco. Can't key on Colton Gerhardt because, like you said, a GB will get it. And what was it, Corey Young who had a touchdown in the highlights. Matthew Williams. I don't know if we've said his name this year, but there's another guy. I mean, Norco's just got all these weapons.
Yeah, they do have quite a few weapons. And Williams, that was his only touch of the game. They seem to be able to just throw guys at you. They even had a guy in the fourth quarter look pretty good, number 24. I don't think I got his name, but he looked pretty good too. And Colton Gerhardt, they have him returning kickoffs, which is amazing to me.
Did they really?
Yeah, he doesn't really get to the kickoff usually, but I think he's out there for hands mostly. But to throw your starting quarterback and the prize piece of your offense out there on kickoff return seems silly to me. But Coach Gerhardt, he throws convention out the window. So
did he actually get any touches on kick
No,
returns?
not that I saw.
No.
The 2 that I saw went over his head, and then the other one I think was like a squibber. Yeah.
Now, Norco, I mean, if you look at their record, you're like, this is an okay team. But you got to remember, they had a brutal schedule, and they almost beat Centennial. They only lost by 1 in the final seconds. So Norco might be a scary team come playoff time.
Yeah.
They could play with the some of the upper echelon teams out there.
It looked like a megalith the last 2 weeks. I've seen them against both Roosevelt and now Corona, and they just look unbeatable against those 2 teams. But those are sort of the lower 2 or 3 teams in the Big Eight this year. So it's hard to sell. And I asked a couple of the players tonight. Is a game against Roosevelt or Corona something that really prepares you for the playoffs and the teams that you're going to see? And most of them take the point of view that, any win's a good win, and, as long as we continue to do the things the right way, it'll work the right way for us in the playoffs.
A little momentum, a little confidence heading into the playoffs. Now, I'm just going to call you Mr. Big Eight here. We've got Santiago and Centennial next week. Have you seen both teams?
I have.
And, what do you think as you size up this matchup?
I don't know. Did Robert Weber throw an interception tonight or not?
EPJ was keeping the stats, and he kept saying another Weber touchdown, but I don't think he had an interception.
You got to really like what Centennial does offensively. They give you so many different looks. They can spread it out. And Corona, to their taste too, they like to spread it out. They just don't run the ball as effectively as Centennial does, and that might have something to do with the differences in the offensive line makeups. Cameron Hunt and Anthony Juarez for Centennial are 2 well-known beasts.
Yeah.
So, and defensively, I think I would give the edge to Centennial too. Santiago, they try hard, but they give up 30, 32, 35 points a game, it seems, every game.
Well, so if it goes to a shootout, does Santiago hang around, or do you think there's just not enough firepower there?
I think they'll stick around for maybe 3 quarters, but the final would probably be something like 52-38 or something like that.
All right, Dennis Pope from Fieldhouse of My Brain. That's his website. Check it out. Dennis,
Thank you very
you're
much.
the man.
Pep, appreciate it.
Yeah, you're the man. All right, Angels, crack open those scores from the Big 8. There's that Norco Corona score that Pope was at, 59-14.
It was 59-16.
Oh, 59-16. I'm going to have to get on Javier, our guy we call Ja Rule, about that. 59-16. Norco is a winner. Also tonight from the land of the Big 8, let's go to the next scoreboard. There it is. Centennial all over Roosevelt. 58-14, your final score. And Angel and Javier, if you're out there, Chris Erkeley's up next, so if he can get in here and we'll do some Mountain Pass scores. But one other score from the Big 8 tonight, Santiago, a big winner against King, 38-7. But still King 4-5 overall on the year. They're still enjoying a great season, but the loss to Santiago. So Santiago now 4-0 in the Big 8, and they've got that big one, as Dennis Pope mentioned, against Centennial next week. Everything on the line in terms of the Big 8 League crown, as Centennial and Santiago will square off in the battle for Rimpaw, the Rimpaw Rumble. I'm not sure what they call it out there, but they're just down the street from each other, and now they're playing for a league championship.
All I gotta say is put your rings on for that game.
We love rings out there, that's for sure. But hey, that's the Big 8. Right now, it's all about the Mountain Pass.
That's where the creme de la creme is, at least. We thought as our game of the week, Citrus Hill and Tockwitz would be the big showdown of the millennium out there in the Mountain Pass. They were just going to shut down the whole city of Hemet and have a big celebration.
I was hoping.
Louis Amestoy was going to be the
Grand Marshal
of Celebration Affairs, flying down on the Hemet City jet down just for the game from Bakersfield. They have a new non-stop flight going right from Bakersfield to Hemet.
Instead of Air One, maybe it's like Hemet One.
Air Force 7. Anyways, let's roll out there to the highlights. Can we dial that?
Who's
hey,
that?
The P-Dog up in the VIP suite. I think when you're the owner of the 49ers, you get to sit up there with all the big shots at the Tockwitz game. How about this, though? Big shot for Citrus Hill, Jason Smith. 50 yards down to the 1-yard line. His buddy in the running back for Citrus Hill, P.J. Walker, moonwalking into the end zone from 1 yard out, 35-7. The score late in the second quarter. Not a lot of mistakes for Citrus Hill tonight. Here, though, Trevor Hodge gets caught napping on the snap, and a big loss for Citrus Hill. Finally, something going right for Tockwitz. Talton Tavares fumbles the ball on the run, but hey, all as planned, right to his buddy, Mytorius Boyd, picking up the loose ball for the touchdown, 35-14. Trevor Hodge, though, back at it again. He would have trouble hanging onto the ball. Apparently a little butter rubbed on the pig's skin at halftime. It was popping out all over the place. They regained the ball, though. That one's good for a 27-yard field goal. 38-14, the lead for Citrus Hill. Citrus Hill D would just get it done and put the game away with a safety. Tockwitz having trouble without their guy Moreno calling the numbers in the backfield at QB tonight. Citrus Hill wins 47-21, Pep.
All right, moving on to San Jacinto, West Valley. As you said, an identity crisis for Bill Powell and the Tigers wearing orange and black. But
called the Tigers, it's a question. No question tonight, though, was who won this game. San Jacinto came out firing. Let's roll to the highlights. Coach Powell saying, hey, guys, we're going to watch Vogelsong and the Giants win Game 3. Hey, how about my house? Pizza's on me. Hey, what else is on San Jacinto? How about this fumble? They're getting to work against West Valley. Chris Anderson. Fumbles contagious tonight in the Hemet area. San Jacinto gets it done on offense. PJ Marietta connects with Tanner Bootsma, putting on the spin move for the touchdown and 7-0 lead. Marietta later on in the first quarter looking to tack on another touchdown. Not exactly what they had in mind. A 90-yard pick six. Lorenzo Terry working on some cardio, getting the blood flowing a little bit there. Zigging and zagging and just, having a good old time on his way to that 90-yard trot. But the joke would be on West Valley from there. All San Jacinto. There we go, faking out the defense and my camera for a minute there. Malik Kimbrough there on the receiving end of the 50-yard touchdown. 49-27 would be the win for San Jacinto. It is a party, at least in San Jacinto tonight. Hemet, though, Tockwitz reeling from definitely what's got to be a disappointing performance. Obviously, we know that they were down. Moreno, their quarterback, was out of commission with that broken collarbone. Disappointing, but definitely the way that they lost to Citrus Hill tonight, they were just overwhelmed from the start and just could not recover. Definitely Citrus Hill maintaining their king of the crown for king of the league. That's for sure.
Yeah, we knew the road to league title would go through Citrus Hill, but Tockwitz, we thought, or even Beaumont for that, Beaumont for that matter, might challenge right to Citrus Hill, but
Yeah.
Citrus Hill is just kind of at that next level.
And Beaumont had Hemet hanging with them tonight.
They did. We're going to get to the scores in just a second, but yeah, they had a battle.
That's not a good sign if you're going to be hanging with Citrus Hill, that's for sure.
And I believe next Thursday, San Jacinto hosts Hemet. I'm talking off the top of my head, thinking out loud.
I believe
right here,
that is right, but that's really a dream come true, a match. Actually, Hemet, we've been seeing them have a rough season, but if they hung with Beaumont, maybe
that's a rivalry game, right?
Rivalry game, anything goes. You know that Bill Powell, he may be caught up in the hysteria of a Giants World Series championship and may not be thinking about the Hemet game.
I haven't looked at the World Series schedule, but let's just assume the Tigers extend the series. Like, I think they will. Sorry, Chris. But I wonder if they play on a Thursday night.
They play Saturday, Sunday, then they have Monday off, then they play... No, they play Saturday, Sunday, Monday, have Tuesday off, then they play Wednesday, Thursday.
So Thursday would be a Game 7?
Yes. Well, Pep, you predicted Cardinals in 5, so I'm not quite sure how respected your
well, if you look at my pick 'em in the paper, I'm not very good at picking games. But I'm just saying, if they went to a Game 7...
It would be disastrous, yes.
San Jacinto played on a Thursday night in Game 7 of the World Series. All right, thank you, Chris, very much. Let's take a look at those Mountain Pass League scores. Citrus Hill, the big winner, 47-21 over Tockwitz, and they're 9-0 now. The Hawks 4-0 in league play. Also from the Mountain Pass League tonight, San Jacinto over West Valley, 49-27. Chris Erickley breaking it down. And one more from the Mountain Pass League, Beaumont and Hemet. As I mentioned, the Bulldogs battling Beaumont tonight, but Beaumont is a winner, 26-14, your final score. We've got a couple more scores from the River Valley League. We can just go straight to those. Norta Vista, they are going to win, more than likely. They might have already done it. We have EPJ crunching the numbers, but Norta Vista 35-7 over Jurupa Valley. And one other score from the River Valley League tonight, and that would be, I believe it was Patriots playing tonight against Moreno Valley and Moval, the Vikes, 41-13. They are victorious, so they are 3-1 in league play. And Angel, you want to punch up the newsroom camera before we say goodnight for this show? I got the bad glare. I'm not sure what's going on with the bad glare, but there's the fine folks of the Press Enterprise. They're diligently working on tomorrow's newspaper. It's going to be popping off. Lots of good action, including, we're dedicating a lot of our resources to the southwest region of Riverside County, Murrieta, Temecula, Elsinore, Menifee. So check out tomorrow's Press Enterprise. Plus, we're always on here at HS Game Time online with all your video stories and photos as well. We'll be back with the Saturday Scouting Report. Unfortunately, we didn't get all the highlights on. I'm trying to find my list here because we got a lot of great games. The Rancho Verde Arlington, we will get that on for the Saturday show. We were expecting Poly North. We'll have more of Norco, Corona, and just a lot of great games, a lot of weird games. We saw Redlands losing to Yucaipa, Chaparral losing to Murrieta Valley, and the wild one, Arlington, and the Rancho Verde going to double overtime with the Mustangs coming back to win that one, to really create a log jam in the Inland Valley League standings in terms of who's going to win the league crown. So week 10 of the high school football season is going to be great, and you are guaranteed to get all your scores and highlights and analysis right here on HS Game Time Live. I'll see you on Saturday with the scouting reports, and of course right back here at 10:30 next Friday night. Have a great night, everybody.